So how's everybody feeling, man? It's a big game coming up tomorrow, the FA Cup final, Chelsea versus Liverpool, and I got a Chelsea fan and a Liverpool fan. I'm a City fan. I'm not up for the trophy this season, but I just want to be like the ref, the mediator in between you guys. I play a little devil's advocate as well. I have Ankit, Chelsea fan. Michael talks football, Liverpool fan. How are you guys feeling?
Well, I have to first of all thanks for having me again. Obviously, very brilliant, kind of setup that you have. But the fact that it's Dom and Mike here couldn't have been better. Of course, getting to the final, Liverpool Chelsea. Well, it's a story which is not kind of got there to the end. The climax is still kind of pending, and this is what the kind of climax is about. It's nothing is given, and this is the game which will call it for me. I think the rivalry goes far beyond. I think we will get there this time. I really feel that. Get over the, it's about five finals in 6 years. So this is probably our time. And I know Man City fan Dominic, I don't want to remind there, but the fact that last season you were, not you exactly, but Man City fans were talking about the trebles, the quadruples, and we kind of, stopped that. I'm hoping it kind of repeats. But again, it's hope against hope. I know Liverpool have been fantastic.
Mike.
Man, I'm excited. I could care less about the FA Cup. That's just my opinion. Living abroad, to be honest, I know English people might hate that, but that's just my opinion. But when it's Chelsea in the final compared to a Cardiff City or Bradford City or any of these sort of teams, it means more. I I despise Chelsea. No offense to Ankit and to all Chelsea fans. I despise them. After what happened in the Champions League 08, 09 season, all the Demba Ba, I hate this team. I just truly do. I don't hate the fans, but I just hate the club in general. So what makes it even better is FA Cup final, beat Chelsea, lift the trophy. Doesn't make it any better. Night out at Wembley. Just please, Liverpool, get it done. I beg. I just need some more trophies in the cabinet because it looks like the Premier League is not coming home, to be honest.
Of course it's not. Come on.
I knew
But
it.
look,
I knew it wasn't already, but
look,
it's looking like it's now more and more or less not happening.
look, Mike. What does this FA Cup mean to Liverpool as a club? I know for you personally, you say you live abroad, so it doesn't really hit you like that. But I think it's it's a big cup trophy. It's the oldest cup trophy of all time, and it's a big occasion to just make the final. I think that's a great achievement, seeing that the clubs have to deal with so many other things: the Champions League, the League Cup, the league, off the field issues, and everything. What would it mean for Liverpool to go on and lift this trophy after already defeating Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final, a dramatic 11-10 on penalties final already this season? What would it mean for Liverpool, to win this?
I think it will mean a lot, especially because we haven't lifted the FA Cup trophy since 2006. I think it was
Yeah,
against West Ham.
West
It's
Ham.
been a long, long time, and that's when Gerrard scored one of the most ridiculous goals I've ever seen. That half volley against, I think it was Shaka Hislop as well. So I mean, awesome. I think this trophy means a lot to Liverpool. And I know a lot of English fans and a lot of people who live in England care about this cup a lot. Obviously, it's what is it, the 150th season of the FA Cup? It's the oldest trophy in the world, and Liverpool haven't won this trophy a lot. We don't have a really good record in finals. I have to be honest. 2012, I think 96 is against Manchester United. We lost in the final. We don't have the greatest record. Also, Wimbledon when we lost in, I think it was the 80s. So I think winning this trophy this year, I think it would mean a lot. I think it would signal that Klopp has taken the cup trophies really serious this season. And look, I just want to beat Chelsea. That's all I want to do. I
Well,
just want to be.
This
I
beating
game
just want
will
to
be,
be.
Chelsea,
trust me.
yeah, beating Chelsea have not been an easy thing to do
No, it
this
hasn't.
season. Two draws in the league, and also during the Carabao Cup final, it took penalties for the teams to separate themselves. Ankit,
Yeah.
Liverpool have already clinched a trophy already this season, the Carabao Cup against you. You yourselves, you guys have the Club World Cup and the Super Cup. The FA Cup is the only trophy left that Chelsea could actually win, and I think personally, this would put a gloss on Chelsea's season, a very lackluster season with a lot of off the field issues. This would actually make it somewhat an okay season. I won't want to say successful because you want to win the Champions League or you want to win the league, but winning the FA Cup along with the the Club World Cup, which is a big deal, and of course the Super Cup would look a lot better than no FA Cup in the cabinet at the end of the season. You see what I mean? What would this mean
Absolutely.
to you?
See, as in again, it is interesting what Michael said about the FA Cup in general. Like, firstly speaking, like me as an international fan as well, the place where I am, actually FA Cups were telecast far more than the other tournaments. So for me, I actually relate to it far more because it used to be a big thing. Wembley was always a big thing, as an international fan. For me, 2007-8, I remember when we went to the new Wembley, right? As in, when Drogba scored that goal. It was a boredom of a game, but the kind of the way I exulted, that I still remember, it's like it was yesterday. So for me, even this season, like the Super Cup you spoke about the Club World Cup. As in those games, I know that we didn't kind of play a tournament per se, but the fact that it's silverware and Chelsea and we all about winning. And that's the DNA that we have built over the past a decade and a half at least, if not more. So we relate to the FA Cup far more because of being there in many finals and the fact that we've lost three finals in recent seasons, and this is the fifth final. For me, this will be the next step because Chelsea, we have to get to, and let's be honest, Liverpool and Man City have gotten far better performances over the seasons for the past 4 5 seasons at least, and we have to get to the next level, and that's where the mentality needs to change. We need to win, be it one game, be it a final, and that will probably take us. Okay, we can beat Liverpool in 90 minutes in a game, which has not happened much in recent times.
Yeah,
Apart from I know the league where last season Liverpool weren't there really, but for me it'll mean a lot more to the players because with Mason Mount, imagine him losing the third successful FA Cup final. Like that is really damning to
yeah,
what a
yeah.
career he would have. So for me, it'll mean a lot more to the squad, and of course the history is right up there. We'll probably win a nine. Don't want Liverpool to equal us on the eighth.
Well, look, Ankit, you guys have been terrible in FA Cup finals recently. Of course, we know that the infamous final against Man City comes to mind. The Kepa situation, the Leicester final against Leicester. The recent final there in the Carabao Cup. There's numerous finals, but I did see someone post something on Twitter today actually that in the club era, Chelsea have actually won more major silverware than Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I heard you said that Liverpool and Man City are kind of, but Chelsea have been that team that has been picking up silverware. You take the Europa League, the league with
Champions League, yeah.
Conte,
Yeah.
the Champions League. You see what I'm saying? So you guys have been winning things. You see what I mean? It's so unfortunate what happened this season. It's like the season just caved in for you. And for you, how do you feel about your season so far? And how could the FA Cup? I mentioned the FA Cup could make this a much better season. How do you feel about your season? And then Mike's gonna let me know. Let us all
For
know how
sure.
he feel about Liverpool's season so far and how the FA Cup could actually help the season as well. Look a lot
See,
better.
when the season started, obviously, Chelsea having signed Lukaku, having done well in the Champions League last season, we expected us to challenge, if not win the league. As in most of the pundits, I know, as in it's just the pundits we are talking about, they actually put Chelsea as the favorites, including myself. I won't call myself a pundit anywhere close.
Yeah,
But the fact being that certainly, as in we had that squad on paper, but that is where I'm saying, Dominic, like it's about Chelsea, closing the gap. Closing the gap doesn't mean just on silverware. I think, let's be honest, Chelsea have been far more successful when it comes to silverware in maybe a recent decade and a half, right? And we're talking about the recent kind of times in England in general. But I think the fact that there is a dynasty being created at Liverpool, which is something that Chelsea always wanted, Abramovich himself wanted when he was there, right? Obviously, he's technically still there, but I think that is what he was aiming towards. It's just that the sackings and the things off the pitch which happened did not actually let us do that. Lampard himself was trying a lot of things on the pitch, which is something that he emulated Klopp in a way, what he was trying. So maybe Tuchel, his philosophy, footballing philosophy will only come when we actually get success, both in terms of silverware as well as consistency. And consistency is the key, and that's what I'm talking about. For me, the season, the way it started, and the way we got, like obviously the COVID, issues happened where we were. I really think that we got a raw deal there, and the fact that I think obviously the ownership came out of nowhere, and the issues came out of nowhere. Tuchel himself had personal issues, lot of things. Ben Chilwell getting injured after that Juventus game where we actually did well. So Those are things that no one really anticipated. So considering all those things, I think I will be content irrespective of how the season ends. But like again, because for the players, losing back to back FA Cups, I cannot see them, kind of, really come up trumps the next time we face Liverpool in the cup final. And that's the only thing which I feel that it will certainly add a lot of value to the squad more than the club.
Well said, well said. Mike, what about you?
I mean, I'm just super proud of this Liverpool team. I'm just relishing in this moment because I know it will not last forever. I have to be honest. I think we'll keep this strong team for 3 more years until Klopp's contract ends, and I'm just relishing and just looking forward to every match day. That's what makes me happy about football nowadays. Is that back in the day when I had to watch Konchesky and Downing and Bellamy and Jay Spearing and watch these guys play football, I was so aggravated and annoyed and thinking to myself, why do I even watch this game anymore? I should just go watch ice hockey or rugby or something to make myself entertained. But now I'm entertained. I get to watch beautiful football. I get to watch Diaz and Salah ball. I watch Mane now evolve into a beautiful striker. And this season has kind of been, it was great at the start, right? And then I think we kind of hit a bump in December, especially that loss to Leicester. I was like, wow, this is not looking good. Then we drew with Chelsea. I think it was New Year's Day, if I'm not mistaken. We were 2-0 up and drew 2-2. And I was like, I hope we win some trophies. I hope we win at least one cup. And look, now we're still in all 4 competitions. We got a Champions League final, FA Cup final. We still got the league. Somewhat 0.001% chance yet, but I'm still clinging on until mathematically it's impossible. So I'm just super proud of this team. The fight they've given, they could have easily given up on the league and said, oh, look, Man City have an 8-point lead, 14-point lead. We can give up. But I have to give them so much credit, and especially Klopp and all these players, and looking at Diaz, how he's evolved as a player. I'm just super proud, and I just want trophies. Look, we haven't won a lot of cup competitions in the last couple of seasons under Klopp. It's been very diabolical, our cup competitions in England, and I'm hoping now we can finish on a high, win the FA Cup, win the Champions League, and I get to see my team play live in person in Finland in the Super Cup. Remember Ankit a couple of seasons ago in the Super Cup 2019 in Istanbul? That was a crazy game, 3-2. I think it went to extra time, if I'm not mistaken. So if we get that sort of game tomorrow, it's going to be entertaining for the neutrals and for both fans, I think.
Well said, man. Well said. Look, Chelsea, they want this FA Cup really badly. Liverpool want it badly as well. Liverpool is in a situation where they could go on to win everything because the league is still a possibility, even though I don't think Liverpool are going to win the league because, the 2 games left, Man City with a little wiggle room as well. And that looks like Liverpool's going to come in second there. Liverpool could also come in second tomorrow in the FA Cup. And they could also come in second on the 28th in the Champions League because Real Madrid are looking like crazy right now. You see, Ankit knows this feeling. Ankit, exactly. Real Madrid knocked both of our teams out the Champions League when we looked like we had gotten our foot, into the next round. But they somehow... They did the same thing to PSG. They've just been months.
Time and again.
Listen, they've been months just this season, man. And look, I'm playing a little devil's advocate, right? Liverpool could go on to win everything, or they could win a cup treble, and they could also win only a Carabao Cup. Mike, I'm telling you, if you only win the Carabao Cup this season, it would be one of the biggest disappointments in a very long time when it comes to when you look across the footballing world, because I think the team played well enough this season to deserve maybe at least 2 of those trophies or 3 of those trophies, but to go on to win one, I don't know, man. Liverpool fans would have a very, very depressing.
I wouldn't say though it's disappointing. I would just say it just feels sad as a Liverpool fan. I mean, look, we made it to 3 finals. Name me any other club that's done that this season. Please tell me.
Think about it. What if Man City
it's disappointing?
Made it?
It's disappointing losing in the finals. But what I'm trying to say is, we at least made it to the final, and we at least pushed Man City. Unlike Chelsea, who didn't make it even a push for the. I'm not even trying to diss Chelsea here, but they didn't push. They were supposed to challenge for the title. This season, so I wouldn't say it's disappointing from your perspectives as rival fans. You would say it's disappointing because you look at our squad and you think, oh, we should be competing on all fronts, and we haven't done this in the last couple of seasons as Liverpool fans. We've only been going for the Premier League and Champions League. So for me, I would say it's been a successful season. If we end up with the Carabao Cup, I'm gonna be, deflated, but I would be like,
Yeah,
okay, you know
but
what? We're gonna
Mike,
push on
at
to
the
next
end of the
season.
day, it can't be a successful season if you only end up with a Carabao Cup. Because guess why?
I
Let me
didn't
tell
say it
you
would be
why.
successful, but I would say it would be deflating if we only won the Carabao Cup. But we can show now we have a squad that can push now for all competitions, unlike just pushing for two
Yeah,
competitions
because
instead.
look, if Chelsea is in that position and end up winning only a Carabao Cup, you Liverpool fans are gonna laugh. And the
Yeah,
same for Manchester City.
exactly.
You see what I'm
I know
saying?
rival fans will take the piss out of us. I don't
Exactly.
expect anything else. But from
So,
my
you
perspective as a
know,
Liverpool fan, I don't think it will be disappointing.
you better win the final tomorrow. That's all I'm telling you.
We need to win it.
You
I'm
better
not
win
taking
it,
a loss
man.
to Chelsea.
Because
As in,
then
all the best for the UCL. I'm telling you, like in the FA Cup, we wanted more. I just feel that.
because the doubts are gonna start kicking in. Liverpool lose this final tomorrow. The doubts are gonna start kicking in about the Champions League, and the league is already slipping away. You know what I mean? So look, let's just get to the game. Injuries. Ankit, you have Kante, Kovacic, Chilwell, Hudson Odoi currently dealing with injuries. Kante and Kovacic are actually doubts, while the other two are definitely ruled out of this one. And for Liverpool, Fabinho should miss this game. And there's news that he should be available for the Champions League final. So Ankit, how much of an impact would these players absent be for Chelsea, or do you think you have enough in the squad to cope?
Well, as in being Chelsea, we should have enough in the squad, and the fact that we've played Liverpool so many times, as in trust me, a lot of those players actually know what to expect. So I don't think it's a huge miss, but because it's an FA Cup final, because it's so important for us, we haven't had a successful season, as in frankly put, right? That is what it makes it even bigger. And the best part is Tuchel. I just love the guy, man. The guy actually said, this is a day that you are there to take risks. So he is ready, and Kovacic himself is ready to take a risk. Even if they are like 80-90% fit, they will actually take a risk. So I can expect one of Kante or Kovacic starting,
Okay,
and
okay.
that will, in a strange way, give Liverpool the edge, and they'll not be 100%. But again, that mentality is what is needed. So for me, it's all about how intentful you are in winning those second balls. It's not about the injuries once you're on the pitch. It really isn't, because we do have cover. Yes, at wing backs is probably our problem that has been in the season. I think that is the only position where I'm worried far more. And I know I'm going to say that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is also there, but the fact that he has finally gotten that confidence what was there in the Sari, as in you can see that coming. So we do have cover, but again, Liverpool midfield, they are a different level altogether. So certainly with Fabinho missing, I won't lie, it will kind of even out things.
All right, well said. So what's your 11 looking like for tomorrow?
Yeah, so I will certainly go with basically the fact that we don't have all the midfielders 100% fit. I'll actually have Mason Mount tuck in midfield. So in midfield, I'll probably have Mason Mount along with one of Kovacic, Kante, preferably Kovacic, and the other midfielder would be Jorginho because he's someone who would have the calming influence. Wing backs would be Alonso and Aspilicueta. The fact that Luis Diaz and Sadio Mane actually literally, as in manhandle Chaloba in that Carabao Cup final. So I think that's the reason I would have Reece James at right centre back, and I'm pretty sure Tuchel will do the same. Centre backs along with him, obviously Thiago Silva. He has been wrapped in cotton wool the whole of last week, along with Rudiger. And then maybe the last match for Chelsea, maybe he wins the cup hopefully. But yeah, Mendy in goal for sure. Kepa only if it gets to the 11th penalty. Maybe we think about it. If not, yeah, I would have him now, despite his confidence improving. Up front, Lukaku has to start. Yes, I know that he didn't do too well against Virgil van Dijk in that one game that we played early on in the season where he was there, but that was we were 10 men, right? So he scored 3 in 2. So for me, Havertz has looked a little bit fatigued. He comes off the bench, and along with Lukaku, we'll have Pulisic and Mount with the legs around him. So that'll kind of make the 11 for me.
All right, Mike. What about you? How do you think Fabinho's absence would influence this Liverpool setup, and what would your 11 look like?
Yeah, I mean, Fabinho's absence is obviously big. For me, just save Fabinho for the Champions League final. Don't even risk it. Just save him, wrap him in cold blanket, whatever you need to do, and just defrost him when it comes to the Champions League final, because I don't want to risk him getting injured, because I feel like he is our most valuable midfielder. Obviously, Thiago has been brilliantly last couple of weeks, but Fabinho is just the destroyer that we need in this side to break up the counterattacks that teams love to do against us. And Fabinho is key in that role. While Henderson did well against Aston Villa, I don't think he can do that for 90 minutes. He's just not as good as the defensive midfielder as Fabinho is. So, look, I think that's something that Chelsea can definitely take advantage of. They can get in behind Henderson, who doesn't have sort of the legs, I would say, to Fabinho, and he's not a good defensive midfielder. So my starting 11, I think, is pretty much simple nowadays for Liverpool. There's no real, agenda up front compared to Chelsea, where they have a lot of options and they don't know what their best front three is. Trent, Van Dijk going out there, Robertson, Alisson in goal, of course, Thiago, Keita, Henderson, and then obviously Diaz, Salah, and Mane. That would be my starting 11 for Liverpool. I think he's going to go strong. I think he kind of looked at the FA Cup over the week against Aston Villa, didn't play his full starting 11, kind of rested some guys for the final, and I think he's going to go strong against Chelsea. We need to, because let's be honest here, Liverpool have not been in Chelsea in a full 90 minutes since September 2020, and that's when Christensen got the early red card. We need to actually get some revenge on Chelsea. We need to avenge these 2 draws that have cost us the league this season. We need to avenge that. Obviously, we got them in the
two draws against City as well. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but we're not playing City.
City and Chelsea, are teams that you struggle to beat, and it feels good. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to be honest.
Look, it's vice versa as well. It's the other way around as well. But
exactly. And I got to be honest. In the Carabao Cup final, I thought Chelsea should have won. I thought they had the better chances. I don't think Lukaku was offside.
The referee can help a little bit, but you got a point for sure.
Yeah, it's referees, but I'm going to say that Lukaku's goal was onside. I don't know how that was offside, but I think on the balance of play, I think Chelsea, they really counterattacked well against Liverpool in that Carabao Cup. I hear about Ankit saying Havertz got on the bench. I always hear from Chelsea fans, big game player, and you're going to keep him on the bench. That's an interesting decision because
it's just the form, Mike. It's just the form. Lukaku, actually, he's occupied defenders, and that's what he is really good at, right? And I actually see that. It'll be interesting again. Konate was Matip, like you said, that might be the difference maker. But again, I think form, meritocracy has its key when it comes to good.
Look, this is going to be a good game. You know, what's interesting is the various battles that we're going to have within this game. You think Van Dijk versus Lukaku, Luis Diaz on the left against the likes of Reece James and Azpilicueta. I think Azpilicueta should actually play as a centre-back, Reece James on the wing, because he gives you more going forward and, his pace and everything going back. You think the battles, Trent Alexander-Arnold versus whoever is on the left over there for Chelsea. And, there's so many intriguing battles within the game, man. You know what I mean? And I'm so looking forward to this. I won't be able to do a watch along or anything, but I'll be watching. And, may the best team go out there and win, man. And look, for Chelsea, I think it means a slightly more because they haven't won anything in terms of domestically. They only won the Club World Cup and the Super Cup.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't want to hold up. They wouldn't want to get this Carabao Cup, FA Cup. And the fact that they've been losing in the finals recently, they would want to make amends. For Liverpool, they got a lot on their plate right now. So, they're also going to go out there and put their best effort, into the game and everything. But just, it is a hard one to gauge because Chelsea have looked shaky. Liverpool have looked shaky a bit, against Aston Villa. They had to come from behind, struggled against Tottenham. You know what I'm saying? And the Villarreal game, they had to come from behind. And Chelsea with, losing to Arsenal, drawing to Wolves. And it was a walk in the park in their last game. But still, it's well poised. It's well poised. Guys, before we end things and you guys give your prediction, I have a combined 11. Let me know what you agree with and what you don't agree with. Look, I have Alisson in goal. Because I think Mendy's form has just nosedive, and even though Alisson got a little error in him, I think he's very, very good. Reece James at right back, over Trent Alexander-Arnold, in my opinion. I just think he's a better all-round footballer defensively and going forward. Whatever Trent could do going forward, I think Reece James can do that too. And defensively, James, I think, is better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. We will find out come November, December for England World Cup matches. Wait. Okay, I'm going to let you talk.
Go ahead.
And the midfield, I'm going to actually go for Kante. I'm going to go for Kante because I just can't, and I'm talking about a Kante, a fit Kante. it's like he's so good, man. I remember last season he was so good. We were talking about Ballon d'Or and Kante, and he just kind of, got the injuries and everything, and he's been out of the team. In the midfield, I went for Thiago. I think he's been very, very good this season, and that's the reason why I'm putting him in this. And alongside him, Mason Mount, because I can't ignore the fact that Mount has over 10 goals and 10 assists this season, and it would be unfair not to put him in a combined 11 based on his performances, and he's just a very skillful player, I think, that has a lot more to offer. Salah over on the right, of course. Lukaku through the center, and Mane over on the left wing. It could be different. There's a lot of quality in the team. Mike, let me know what you agree with and what you don't agree with.
Interesting. We didn't go to the centre back, but I think
Yeah, we
you
did.
can
We
make
did
up
go
for
to
that.
Oh, the centre backs, pardon me. Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, I get a little carried away with it. Virgil van Dijk, Rudiger, and Andy Robertson. You guys are like, damn, Dom, this is not an 11. This is an 8. But yeah, Van Dijk,
It's a good team.
Rudiger,
It's a good team.
and Robertson. Apologize for that. I got a little excited.
Wow. Mike, over to you.
Actually, Mike distracted me. Mike is the one that distracted me. You wanna argue for Trent Alexander-Arnold? Go ahead, argue.
No, first you said Lukaku
Lukaku, yes.
over
And
Mane.
inform Lukaku.
Mane is on the left. Lukaku is to the center.
Really?
Yes,
And
really.
Lukaku, what does he do? Score against Leeds and Norwich and these teams? What did he
They're
do
all
against the big
important.
teams?
It's all important.
I want to ask you, what did he do against Liverpool
Look,
this season? Has he scored a goal?
Look, I don't think he had a great season, but Lukaku is still, a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him that. How many goals Salah scored in 2022? Please tell me.
All right, not that many, but he scored
6.
at least against Man City earlier this season.
6.
So he at least
6, bro.
He came up against big teams this season.
But what I'm
unlike
saying,
Lukaku.
6 goals. Went
Obviously,
to the AFCON, lost the final.
I'm not
Went to the
defending
World
his
Cup
performances since
qualifiers,
AFCON. It's been
lost it as well, and then he scored 6 goals for Liverpool. 6.
I'm not denying that, Dom.
Salah might not get that. Salah might not get the contract he wants.
I think it's about again we are I think we are talking about players in their prime in the recent
Okay, in
past
their
who
prime. All
actually
right.
are in form. So I think again the expectations were there, but I have to say, Dominic, I know that you're going to probably come behind me for this. I myself was pleasantly surprised to see Lukaku there. I would actually, if you're seeing the overall longevity and everything, I think Havertz kind of tips Lukaku. I would still have Havertz. Probably Luis Diaz is what Mike would say, but for me,
You guys
it's
are
not enough for
you
a
guys
long
are
time.
disrespecting Lukaku, man. And you know what I mean? Look,
I
the man,
put him- I put
look,
him
What
in
has
my
he
level
done in
for
the Premier
tomorrow.
the
League?
man has 3 goals in his last 2 games. Wait, let me just say this. The man has
Leeds.
3 goals. I know it doesn't matter. If you don't get 3 points against Leeds, it could be the difference between you coming in second in the league
And it's not
and
just the
winning
goals,
the
Dom.
league, okay?
He-
Let me let you
he
know
has
that
been
one
on the
He's
time.
been playing better. He's been playing better as well.
Yeah, he's been playing like the Lukaku.
It's my
of the
combined
world. That's the
11.
point.
It's my combined 11. I'm glad you guys don't agree with it, though.
And
but,
I haven't even gone into the right back. Did you say Reece James is the better attacking fullback than Trent?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not been given the freedom.
Maybe,
I agree
let me
with
tell you
100%.
something. Let me tell you something. Maybe you haven't been watching the Chelsea games, Mike. Maybe.
I have.
Maybe.
I'm not going
Bro.
to deny Reece is much better defender than Trent. No doubt about that, right? I'm gonna
Reece
give you that.
James going
100%.
forward, bro, is a whole nother beast. I'm telling you. In
I'm
terms
sorry.
of
Can Reece
assistant,
James
no,
do those sort of
Trent is
passes that Trent did to in Benfica game? Please
Trent
tell me
is
that.
very good. I'm not saying he's not very good, but for me,
What
Reece
Reece from
James
Newcastle?
it's just something about James,
Go ahead,
man.
Ankin.
See, I'm just saying, like Reece James. Honestly, yes, I agree that what Trent does, probably no right back in the world does, and I have to say that. But the fact that Reece James hasn't been given the license, you see the game against Newcastle, he was actually given. When Ben Chilwell and Reece James played, they have such a mentality that one person tucks back and the other goes. That was in December, if you remember, we were actually top of the league as well, for a couple of days, and that is the form that we're talking about. That Reece James is what prime Reece James is. If he's been given the freedom to do that. Currently, Chelsea are not good defensively, so he's been asked to come back a lot more. He's been playing right centre back as well. He's coming back from injury, and there is a reason why. Actually, I know we are talking about Gareth Southgate, but there is a reason that he is played over Trent. I can say that attacking wise, both kind of bring different elements. Both are kind of comparable. I won't say one is better than the other, to be very honest. Passing, definitely Trent is far better. But I think Reece James is a better crosser of the ball. I really believe that. He just did not do that enough. But defensively, far better.
And
That's what I
Reece
would say.
James, I think, is a more goal threat though. You know, he more inclined to take a shot at goal and actually test the goalkeeper. You see what I'm saying?
I
But
agree with
look,
that one. But crossing, Trent all day. Sorry.
yeah,
Ankit.
Trent is very good at crossing left and right. But Ankit, I'm just gonna send a warning before we land the plane. City is gonna come for Reece James eventually. I'm just send the. Oh, okay, you guys don't
That's the first.
listen.
You just want to buy everybody, Dom.
Look,
Is that what you want to do?
that's what it's about. That is what it's about. If Chelsea is attractive enough to garner in to attract one of our players, that will happen. If Liverpool are able to do it, it could happen. You see what I mean?
So
And
basically, that means that you're giving us Kyle Walker, right? That's what it
no,
means.
no. You're gonna have to go and do your recruitment all over again.
I'm
But
okay with that.
but
Kyle
I'm
Walker is
telling
one
you
of the
though.
most underrated guys. For me, I've said that on
But I'm
record.
telling
Kyle
you,
Walker.
Man City want to sign the best, and Reece James could actually be a player that I can see us
I think he
signing.
goes, but he won't be in England. I feel that he'll
Yeah, he'll go to
eventually
Real
go,
Madrid.
but yeah, it'll
Okay, all
eventually
right.
happen.
Remember, I told you guys this.
Let's see.
Mike, what's your prediction for tomorrow?
I'm not going to be honest. I'm not confident in this game. I'm really not. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park. When was the last time a team has destroyed another big team in an FA Cup final? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I think the last time a team actually destroyed another team in the FA Cup, it was Man City 6-0 against Watford, which we all knew it was going to happen anyways. It's Man City versus Watford. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool, and I think it's going to go to extra time. I think it's going to be another nervy game, and I think Diaz is going to be the difference. I absolutely love this player. I don't usually get players on the back of jerseys. I'm going to get Diaz next season. I think he's something special in my opinion. So 2-1 Liverpool.
Ankit, what about you?
Interesting. I'm again going for the same scoreline, but for Chelsea win, extra time. I've already gone on record saying that. But for me, there is unfinished business. As in we spoke, one player who was actually left out of that combined 11, I was kind of surprised as well, was Kovacic. He's been absolutely brilliant in the last 18 months. So for me, if he's fit, even if he's 90% fit, he'll make the difference along with Pulisic. I'm just calling that. Pulisic has done well against Liverpool. He has unfinished business too. Kovacic with FA Cup, what he got the red card against Arsenal, pretty sure he'll remember that. So they would want to get things changing. And Havertz off the bench, that is the person for me. Definitely changes the game again.
Look, this is a hard prediction. This is tough. I'm telling you because we don't have anything to really say. Okay, this season, okay, Liverpool went on to win on pens, right? And that's 3 games, no separation. I have a feeling. I just have a feeling. I know Liverpool fans are gonna come at me here, but I have a feeling Chelsea's winning this final. It's just a feeling, just this little inkling that Chelsea, they need this. Liverpool need it too. But I have a weird feeling about the rest of Liverpool's season. Liverpool would now have to prove me wrong and make me look real stupid. But I have a feeling that this build up, this hype, this quadruple thing, it's gonna just go from here to like right here, real fast. And it's gonna be one of the biggest humblings you'll ever see in football.
Wow, big one.
It's a big call. But as I'm saying, I'm playing a little devil's advocate at the same time. They could well go on to win the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. The league, I think, is gone. But then again, you never know. You see? So it's up to Liverpool. But I think Chelsea wins this one. I'm going to go for... I think it might go to 120 minutes again. This is hard. This is hard. But I'm going to have to say 2-1 to Chelsea as well. 2-1 to Chelsea.
I can
Mike,
just add one thing quickly here, Dom.
Mike, I'm sorry, bro, but I
Let
don't
Ankit
know,
go.
bro.
I'll
No,
respond.
what I was saying, see, as in a lot of times we have seen when Chelsea are favorites, we tend to not do well. And this time on paper, we're not, right? Liverpool have been fantastic, and we have to accept that fact. And that is when Chelsea kind of come up trumps, and that's what I'm hoping against hope again. Like I said, and that's the reason I'm going with my prediction as well.
All right. Mike, what you...
I'm gonna say this: both teams have not looked good in the last couple of weeks. I got to be honest. I think both teams look a little bit leggy, especially Liverpool and Chelsea. I think all the competitions they've played is now catching up to them. And back in February, Chelsea were much more defensively stronger. I mean, when I was watching Chelsea versus Wolves, Wolves could have easily scored 4 goals in the last 20 minutes. They were all, Trincao was causing so much trouble, Chiquinho as well. They were causing all sorts of havoc on Chelsea. If you're going to let that happen to Salah and Diaz, they will punish you. So I'm just hoping Liverpool rise to the occasion, prove Dom wrong, predicting 1 trophy for the rest of the season. Are you picking Real Madrid for the final?
I'm not predicting what. I'm playing a little devil's advocate. I'm not predicting 1 trophy.
Right.
But right now, I think I'm gonna predict Chelsea for the Look, it's even better when I do my analysis. If Liverpool wins, I'll be like, hey man, you proved me wrong, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dom, I haven't been on this quad talk either. I've been very consistent saying that we will either win the Premier League or Champions League. We won't win
the quad
both.
talk is just for hype, man. You know what I'm saying?
It is, bro. It is. And people want to, latch onto it and be a part of the movement.
Exactly,
I was at the beginning with this quad talk. Bro, come on. It's not going to be done. Unfortunately, it isn't. It would be lovely, but I'm going to be very, very, very satisfied with the treble. Very satisfied. Obviously, it won't be including a Premier League, but give me an FA Cup. We haven't won it for a while.
Yeah. So, guys, it was fun, man. It was fun. And, I had to get you guys, to do this. Hopefully, we get to do a lot more of these talks during the off season. And, guys, you could check out Ankit. He's on YouTube. The link would be in the description down below. Mike as well. Michael Talks Football. Ankit Almighty Blues. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Ankit, Chelsea fan. Mike, Liverpool fan. Myself, Dominic Rich. Guys, make sure you subscribe to all 3 channels. We're putting in the work. We've been consistent, and everything. So thanks for the continued support, man. It's good chatting, man. It's good having a discussion. And tomorrow we see who wins. The better team's going to go out there and win the game. The better team on the day, going to go out there and win. And, kudos to whoever does it. Maybe next week we link back up and talk about it again. You know what I'm saying? If we have some time. So, guys.
Wait till our World Cup discussions.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. And for everybody who's watching, make sure you subscribe to all the channels, as I mentioned. Like the video if you haven't yet done so. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.